That's some scary stuff.
I know, right? That's the avalanche that's coming once we start having hyper Bitcoinization.
That's right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new DC live stream. I'm your host, Matt Batiri, here with my co-host, Wasim Debussy. How are you, my friend?
I'm outstanding. How are you, man? How was your Australia Day yesterday?
I worked. So
You worked.
Some people would say that I'm one of those people revolting against Australia Day.
That's not very Australian of you, mate.
No, I just had work on, so I didn't get to do much. Had a couple of beers at the end of the day, but it seems like it's getting a little bit more quiet Australia Day. Maybe people are catching on the entire invasion day. So I don't know. I feel like the beaches were quiet here on the Gold Coast, like there were people there, but it wasn't as busy as you would think. So
I had a good day at the beach, had a good old Aussie barbecue, and just swam in the beach. So it was a nice, long, relaxing day for me.
Yeah, nice. Well, guys, we've got plenty to get through as usual, so strap yourselves in. We're going to start off with the news highlights, and Wasim, take it away.
Alrighty, so first up, Coinbase is in trouble again. So Coinbase, the Dutch bank has slapped Coinbase with a 3.3 million euro fine, which is about 3.6 million US dollars. And they're saying this because they're considering Coinbase as one of the largest crypto exchange companies in the world, and they have a huge customer base in the Netherlands. So the Dutch bank has imposed a 3.3 million euro, which is about 3.6 million US dollar fine on Coinbase because of poor registration. It's not the first time that Coinbase has been in trouble. Basically in May 2020 has mandated that any virtual asset service providers must register under the Anti-Money Laundering and Anti-Terrorist Financing Act. This comes on the back of Coinbase paying $100 million to the New York Department of Financial Services for again the same type of thing where they said that their fact checking and their identity verification wasn't up to scratch, and now Coinbase is investing about $50 million in upgrading their anti-money laundering checks. Because of what's happened. So interesting to see what's happening in Coinbase. Second time they get in trouble this year. That's over $103 million they've paid in fines in the past few months.
Yeah, I just don't know how they would have been able to set up a business in the Netherlands without having the proper paperwork and registrations. It seems a bit weird. Like you think that's the first thing a company would need before they establish themselves, but anyways.
Well, I think what they did was they just opened up an online business and allowed people from all over the world to jump on.
Right.
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how they got people to onboard their fiat in Netherlands without having the right documentation. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We have Bitcoin as legal tender. So Arizona senator pushes bill to make crypto legal form of currency. So they're one of the. I like Arizona as a state. I think they're quite progressive, being so close to California as well. That's where basically Vegas is as well. But there's a lot of athletes go to train there. So it's a little bit more modern, and I wouldn't say hip hop, but it's definitely in regards, if you think of the United States, it's a more progressive and fast moving state than some of the red states are a little bit behind the times and stuff like that. So anyways, Arizona State Senator Wendy Rogers has proposed a legalization a legislation that will make Bitcoin legal currency in Arizona, allowing state agencies to accept it. If passed, Arizona will be the first state in the US to recognize Bitcoin as legal form of currency. So this bill is co-sponsored by Rogers' Republican colleagues in the state Senate and allows for payment of debits, taxes, and other financial responsibilities in Arizona with Bitcoin. However, the bill's approval is uncertain as the US Constitution prohibits individual states from establishing their own legal currency. So what do you think, Wasim?
Yeah, man, look, this is the second time that Arizona's tried this, and last time they did get rejected. If they do get it through, it will be, or they say that will be mainly symbolic. But I suppose the idea behind this is that when you get more and more states who are trying to make Bitcoin legal tender, this does put more pressure on Congress to look into it and hopefully turn it to legal tender. If the United States turn Bitcoin into legal tender, which, to be honest, in my personal opinion, is we're very, very far from this. But when it happens, Bitcoin will go to crazy prices. Like $10 million for a Bitcoin then is going to be very cheap. So the message here is make sure you're accumulating as much Bitcoin as you can while you can, because I believe in what I've been reading. A lot of countries will start looking at Bitcoin as legal tender, but I think the movement will predominantly happen from developing countries, especially in Latin America and Africa, before it comes to Western and first world countries.
Yep, fair enough. I think that the United States won't pass this because the people at the top still want fiat. They like cash. They don't really want another currency to enter the US, which would dilute the power of the United States dollar. So definitely not going to happen anytime soon, like Wasim said. Alrighty, next one.
All right. Next one, my favorite, one of my favorite countries in the world right now, El Salvador. Volcanic Bitcoin City wins International Architecture Design Award. Look, El Salvador has just been absolutely kicking some major goals, and you guys need to watch out. Keep an eye out. I did record a video earlier this week that's in production right now around all the great things that happen in El Salvador, and this is just another one. It's not going to be in the video because the video is already recorded. But basically, just after 2.5 years since El Salvador made Bitcoin's legal tender, they then announced that they're going to create or build a Bitcoin city. Now, the Bitcoin city that they're talking about is going to be a city at the base of between two volcanoes. Now, I'm a little bit wary about that. Like, having cities at the base of volcanoes hasn't historically been the right move for humanity. But what they're doing is they're building this city called the Bitcoin City on the base of these volcanoes. They're going to be powered purely by geothermal energy is that's the word I'm looking for. Geothermal energy. It's going to be completely renewable. It's going to be a circular economy, anti-inflationary economy. It's going to be in the shape of Bitcoin. And the architect who designed it was the same as an architect from Mexico, and he'd won some major prizes over the years. So yeah, that's very exciting news.
Look, if you haven't watched it, Dante's Peak, fantastic movie. Everyone also knows what happened in Pompeii. And like you said, cities at the bottom of volcanoes, you've got to have some balls to live there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's check the market. Things are doing pretty well today, as they have been for the last few weeks. We've got Phantom, Matic up, Bitcoin SV, don't know why that's pumping. The Telegram coin. So things are pretty stable. I think Bitcoin had a nice little pump this morning to, just under 24,000. Can you believe it? 24,000. And over, let's have a look. We were only at 15,000 a month ago, believe it or not. A month ago, we were at 15 or 16,000. And things weren't looking good, and Bitcoin will do Bitcoin things, and it's rallied. What's that now? $7,000 since the 1st of Jan, which is pretty cool and amazing. And I'm sure everyone watching the stream, if you're watching, you're probably investing in crypto, and you're absolutely loving this pump. I know my bags are. I know Wasim's are. So hopefully you guys are all in the market and reaping these rewards. Don't get greedy. Take profits. We've had a really good really good last month. I think it'd be silly if you just thought, hey, this is going to be never ending, because we're not in the bull market. This is just a good bounce during a bear market. We're not going to enter the bull market till probably later this year, and the exponential bull run will be next year.
Yeah, this is definitely the year to be accumulating. It looks like we got a bit of a pullback at the moment. I think Bitcoin is testing some resistance. But the main thing here, guys, one thing that is very, very important to understand is that everything is correlated to Bitcoin. As Bitcoin starts to pump, you see the rest of the market pump. As Bitcoin dumps, the rest of the market dumps. So as Maddie said, this is the year for accumulation. You need to be accumulating as much Bitcoin, as much good projects as possible, because once we hit the bull run next year, a lot of people are going to start FOMOing in. A lot of people are going to be throwing money at this. And this is where the smart investors getting in now are going to be taking profits, which is what you should be doing. Now is the time to sow your seeds, and next year's the time to reap your rewards.
That's right. Fear and greed up to 55. So you can see last week we're at 51. We're in the greed. We're in the greed. There you go.
Wow.
So if this is any indication, let's go max. I'm pretty sure the fear and greed also marks, highs and bottoms as well, guys. So you definitely want to be checking this out. If you look at this graph, you can kind of see how it resembles Bitcoin's Bitcoin chart. So if we look at the 8th of November, or let's go 9th, that was pretty close. Let's go, there you go, 10th of November. We were at 75, and that is where Bitcoin topped out, okay? At 10th of November, 2021. It was actually the 8th. But we can see the fear and greed index was 75. So we're starting to go parabolic, right? We're in the greedy zone, and whenever we're in the greedy zone, you can kind of see, which is just above 55, I do believe. Then this is where we're going to see historically see some resistance. Just look at this around about here. So this was 44, 54, 52. 49. So you can see around about this number, we then had big drops, which basically means that the market would have sold off hard. So I would like you to just look at this and think, okay, we're in that 50 mark, and look at it. Last two times was 7th of Feb last year, we're at 45 and we dumped down. And then 30th of March 2022, we dumped down from 55 to 20. So let's have a look at that date, 28th of March 2022. So let's go day. I'll just double check. It was, what did we say? There we go. 31st of March, 2022. So let me remove some of these lines because it looks really confusing. All right, oops, need that. All right, 30th of March, May, there you go, March, right here. Look at that, 30th of March. We'll zoom in. What happened from there? Well, 30th of March right there. We're at a 45. What were we? We were at a 55, and today we are at a 55 as well. So what does that mean? What does that mean, people? I would like you to just take a look. The market has been on an absolute heater. Look at this parabolic stuff that you see during a bull market. It cannot last. We need to have a retracement. Anyways, I've said enough. Let's move over.
I personally want a retracement. I haven't bought enough Bitcoin. I still have money in the dry powder. So I'm looking forward for a dump. I'm really hoping we get a 12K Bitcoin where it just scares so many people out of the market so we can go in and grab some bargains. But this is proof, guys. Last year was a very tough year on crypto. A lot of people lost faith. Even I'll be honest, there were times where I was even stressed out. I was like, man, how long is this going to last? But now we're seeing it come back. And this time next year, probably about 12 to 15 months from now, we're going to see some crazy moves.
All right, first tweet of the day, we have Nayib Bukele. In the past year, almost every legacy international news outlet said that because of our Bitcoin bet, El Salvador was going to default on its debt by January 2023, since we had an $800 million bond maturing today. Literally hundreds of articles. So I'm assuming that they didn't default. Wasim, you'd know because you love this guy. So
I do.
Go for it.
Yeah. So look, yeah, they didn't default. A lot of the flooders out there, the people that are against what El Salvador is doing and they don't believe in Bitcoin, they've written hundreds and hundreds of articles about El Salvador defaulting on their debt, El Salvador not being able to pay their debt, and it's such a bad move. Not only did they not default, they paid off $800,000 worth of debt. They bought 2023 bonds, they bought 2025 bonds. They saved their population $275 million in interest, while other countries are looking at defaulting. So, and then since they've done that, you don't see a single thing about this in mainstream media because they don't want you to know the reality of how Bitcoin is serving El Salvador and making it a real financial hub of the future.
Well said. We got over to you, mate, for this one.
All right, so breaking news, new record Bitcoin hash rate, 300 quintillion hashes are compounded every second to secure the network. That's 3 with all these zeros. How much is that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 12, 15, 18, 20 zeros. 3 with 20 zeros. That's 300 quintillion hashes.
Which means that security is through the roof, guys. Security is through the roof. It won't be hacked unless someone owns 51% of the Bitcoin, something crazy like that, which is completely impossible.
And when you understand, look, there's a free book you can download called Inventing Bitcoin from Swan Financial or something. I can't remember the name of the company, Swan something. And it's a short book. You can even get the audio book and listen to it in a couple of hours. And he speaks about, gets people to understand what the hash rate is, what all the different components of Bitcoin are. And when you understand that the higher the hash rate, the more security is, and how much money it would take for anyone to attack the Bitcoin, the 51% attack will cost millions and billions of dollars to bring Bitcoin down. Yeah. So
by the next bull run, you'll need $1 trillion easily.
Yeah, so it is unstoppable. It's basically the most unstoppable country in the world, unstoppable currency in the world.
And network, yeah. Tweet we have from Genevieve Roche Dector. Would you invest in this business? Total debt 31 trillion, assets 4.8 trillion, annual revenue 4.9 trillion, annual income 1.4 trillion loss. This is the US government. That's a good one.
I love this, especially when we spoke about, recently, like just a couple of the tweet with Nayib Bukele where they paid off $800 million of their debt. The US economy has gone over $31.42 trillion in debt. They keep raising their debt ceiling because it's absolutely ridiculous how much debt is happening in the US. And so, when you compared one of the strongest or so-called strongest economies in the world versus El Salvador, you can see that this bubble has to burst, and it will burst soon. And once it does, especially with what's happening around the world, so many countries are looking at alternatives to the dollar. You got Saudi Arabia now looking at selling oil, not with the dollar, but accepting other payments for oil. You're looking at other countries coming together, creating new currencies. The US dollar is going to lose a lot of value. And once it does, once this thing crashes, a lot of people are going to lose so much money and going to wish they were a Bitcoin.
I just noticed as well, if you guys are looking on the right-hand side, guys, what's trending right now? Crypto trading, business, and finance. So crypto is in the top tweets of the day, which is pretty big. All right, moving over to the adoption highlights. Go with Sim.
All righty, guys. So first up, we have Essentia invest in a Former Vision to build 3D volumetric videos in the metaverse. So up until now, basically, you created your own avatar in the metaverse, you design what it looks like or whatnot. But now they're looking at ways in which they can actually beam into the metaverse real life 3D models of things. So let's say I'm having a meeting with someone across the globe, across the world, I should say, and I want to show them a model of something that I have. I can beam that model that's right in front of me and have a 3D image of it in the metaverse. Even myself, I can beam myself into the metaverse with a 3D hologram. This is revolutionary technology. It's going to allow so many different ways for us to communicate and share information around the world.
One thing I do want to buy this year would be Oculus headsets. I think that those things are so cool, but I've never bought them because I
I've
do
got
want to
one.
see. Hey,
I've got one.
oh yeah, are they mad?
Yeah, they're actually quite cool. I mean, I got into it in the beginning. I was really into it. I was on every day. During the pandemic, when we were during lockdown, I downloaded an app for fitness, and I would do all my training because I couldn't get to the gym. I would do all my training through Oculus. You can download a whole bunch. You can do boxing, you can do Tabata, you can do high intensity stuff. I play games. I do some meditation.
It'd be so weird trying to exercise with a headset on, no?
It's not that bad, man. I actually really enjoyed it. Like the boxing one was really cool because you have these balls coming at you and you got to punch them and do streaks. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do there, but I still haven't used it for business. You need to connect it to your computer. You need to have a pretty good graphics card, and my laptop isn't designed for that.
It's
You
no
gotta have
good.
a computer.
Right.
Well, I don't have a gaming computer. I just have a normal laptop.
The future, it's coming at us very fast.
Yeah,
All right,
sure
guys.
is.
Next one, we've got Listen and Earn allows Bitcoin payments for podcasters and listeners. So Fountain, a value-for-value podcasting platform, has announced a partnership with ZBD, a financial service company that specializes in monetizing games and apps to enable Bitcoin micropayments for podcast listeners. The CEO of Fountain, Oscar Mary, sees this as the future of content creation and believes that in the future, paid subscriptions for content platforms that aren't related to usage will be seen as basic and inefficient. So the partnership with ZBD allows users to take advantage of rewards through debit and credit card interactions without needing to know anything about cryptocurrencies. Additionally, the use of the Bitcoin Lightning Network allows for instant, permissionless, and low-fee payments to be programmed with the Fountain app and other open RSS standards. So this development connects the fragments of podcasting industry, allowing users to participate in the financial upside of the value they created on the platform. So I guess the platform that I'm already thinking that's already out is Theta. Theta is kind of like YouTube has the T Fuel token where you can watch content and give Theta fuel or fuel tokens to the viewers on the platform or people that create content. So yeah, I guess this is just another company trying to bridge the connection between retail people that are not in crypto and get them over to subscribe to these platforms.
Yeah. Look, I think this is last time we spoke about it, we're not really, I still don't understand how it's going to work. But I think when these crazes take on, I was reading this article and I'm thinking, once a craze like this takes on and it revolutionizes something, it will go crazy. Like same way that streaming went crazy. And now imagine you don't need to pay for streaming. You just pay micro payments for whatever it is that you want to stream, and then that goes directly to the creator. I mean, that's going to allow so many more artists to bring things out. It's going to allow for so many new things to come out that are just not available yet. It's definitely revolutionizing the world.
Yeah. All right, last but not least.
Last but not least, and this is pretty big news, guys, because Binance users in 7 countries can now cash out cryptocurrencies for fiat. One of the biggest problems in developing countries, especially countries that are anti-crypto, is for people who are using cryptocurrencies to be able to cash out their crypto. And now Binance has allowed for people to cash out their crypto in 7 countries around Asia and Africa: Bangladesh, Ghana, Hong Kong, India, Pakistan, Philippines, and Vietnam. So now users in those countries, not only can they use Binance to buy and sell crypto and trade crypto, they can actually, when they make money, they can cash it out, which makes it a lot easier, make it more accessible for people, and will definitely increase crypto adoption. You got to remember, guys, all this stuff we're talking about right now and what we've been talking about over the past year, they're all little tiny blocks that are setting up the next bull market, which is why you need to get into crypto and why this is the year to be learning about and accumulating as much crypto as possible. And on that, what do we have for the listeners, Matty? What do we got coming up?
We've got an amazing way to generate 7 passive income using digital assets. So we're going to bring up the link for that, guys. It's an amazing event. It's the second time we're running it. We had such good feedback last year doing it that we're running it again for the last time this year. Hopefully it's the last time because we like creating new content, but we had such good feedback. We encourage you to come along. If you missed out last time in December, please come along. You're going to learn a lot of stuff. We'll also be revealing some industry secrets, and it's good for you guys to improve and increase your crypto knowledge, especially coming up to the next bull market. You probably want to find some great investment opportunities and also some passive income opportunities that you maybe didn't tap into last bull market.
Let's see, guys. Make sure you attend 12th of February, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time, I should say. This is the second time we run this event. We may not run another one. We are working on a new event that we're going to be running in March. So honestly, guys, you want to come, you want to listen, you want to see how some of our members have 10x some of their investments, even during the midst of the bear market. From August to now, we've had members that have 10x, including myself, that have 10x some of their investments in a bear market. You don't want to miss out on this because we're working on some really amazing projects that are gonna change people's lives in the next couple of years.
All right, guys, that is it from us. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We love to give you guys content each and every single day, Monday to Friday, and more stuff pre-recorded for Saturday and Sunday. That's it from us. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next live stream next week. Bye.
Peace out and stay crypto.